So you are welcome back to my YouTube channel, Beloved Academy. Thank you very much for your like and subscription. Thank you very much. And if this is your first time and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so get update as I begin to drop others video. Now, in today's video, we are going to be solving another question on fertilizer calculation. Yeah, don't forget, in my previous video, I show you something that is very spectacular on fertilizer calculation. Trust me, if you follow this video carefully, if you pay attention, you won't need to watch this video twice before you get all the concepts. Thank you very much. Yeah, here is the question that we are going to be solving today. Uh, in a school farm, a practical plot was measured out and a student was allocated with 500 meter square size to plant maize. After soil testing was made, the following fertilizers recommendation was made. Now, I want us to understand the first, underline the first parameter, which is what? 500 meter square. Yeah, we have the 500 meter square. Okay, these are the recommendation that was made. 1 kilogram per hectare of nitrogen. Urea contain 46% nitrogen, 80 kilogram per hectare, 80 kilogram for phosphorus per hectare. Single superphosphate contain 40% P205, P205 rather. Then 45 kilogram of potassium. I'm supposed to put K here. And contain muriate of potash. Of course, this is the compound for the muriate of potash. Now, this is the question: how much urea, SSP, MOP will be blended to apply to the maize plot? That's the first question. And the second question said, if 5 kilogram of urea cost 5,000 naira, 5 kilogram of single superphosphate cost 7,500, and 5 kilogram of muriate of potash cost 9,000 naira respectively, what is the total amount of NPK fertilizers that will be applied to the maize plots? Now, let's proceed to the first question. In my previous video, I explained to you that the first thing to do why you want to do your fertilizer calculation is that you must make sure that you first calculate the areas that you are given in hectares. They might give you other units, but in this case, they gave us 500 meter square. So we first calculate this area in hectares, since our measurement, the recommendation that we are given is in what? Hectare. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Just pay attention and follow me carefully. Okay, now, so area is equals to, this is the area that we're given, 500 meter square. Don't forget your unit of conversion. The area given is in acres, so I have to convert the given area of the farm to hectares. The area is in meter square now, so don't forget that 1 hectares is equals to 10,000 meter square. Yeah, 1 hectare is equals to 10,000 meter square. So X, let me represent the hectares that I'm going to get from 500 meter square as X. So X is equals to what? 500 meter square. So if I cross multiply, don't forget this will goes to this and this will goes to this. So if I cross multiply, I'm going to be having my X is equals to 500 all over 10,000. X is equals to 0.05 hectares. So this is the hectares of the farmland that I'm given in this is the area of the farmland in hectares. This 500 meter square is also the same thing. 500 meter square is also the same thing as 0.05 hectares. So now the next thing to do is to find the amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that will be used in 0.05 hectares. Don't forget, the next thing to do is to find the amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that will be used in 0.05 hectares. Now, if you look at the question very well, in this number one, I'm going to deal with the nitrogen first, which is this. This is the recommendation for nitrogen. So if you look at this number one, they give 100 kilogram of nitrogen is used in 1 hectares. Have you seen that my farm is not up to 1 hectare? So I'm going to be taking the recommendation on the basis of my farm. If 100 kilogram of nitrogen is used in 1 hectare, how many kilogram of nitrogen will be used in 0.05 hectares, which I have here? So that's what the question says. So, okay, for the nitrogen now, 100 kilogram, don't forget, 100 kilogram of nitrogen, 100 kilogram of nitrogen was used in 1 hectare. So when I convert my area of the farm, the area is not up to 1 hectare. So how many kilogram of nitrogen will I use? Let me represent it as small letter n is equals to 0.05 hectare. So if I cross multiply, I'm going to be having this 9 will go to here and this will go to here. If I cross multiply, I'm going to be having n is equals to 100 multiplied by 0.05. So 100 multiplied by 0.05, that is what? I'm going to be having 5 kilogram of nitrogen. So the amount of nitrogen that I needed on the farmland is 5 kilograms. So that's it. I'm going to do that the same for phosphorus. Now I want to calculate for phosphorus. If you look at this, they gave me that 80 kilograms of phosphorus is used per hectares of farmland. So, and my area is not up to 1 hectare. So I'm going to using the same approach. 80 kilograms is used for the phosphorus. 80 kilogram of phosphorus is used in 1 hectare. Now, let me represent the amount of phosphorus I'm going to be using on the farmland with small letter p. P kilogram of phosphorus is used in 0.05 hectare. So I want to get the value of my p. P is equals to 80 kilogram multiplied by 0.05. Yeah, punch your calculator, you're going to be getting 4 kilogram of phosphorus. So the amount of phosphorus that we'll use is 4 kilogram of phosphorus. That's the amount of phosphorus that was used on 0.05 hectares. Now I'm still going to be doing the same for what? Potassium. Okay, don't forget that they gave me that 45 kilogram of potassium was used per hectares. So 45 kilogram of potassium was used per 45 kilogram of potassium. 45 kilogram of potassium was used in 1 hectare. Don't forget, per hectare means 1 hectare, so you get it. So 45 kilogram of potassium was used in 1 hectare. Let me represent the amount of potassium that I'm going to be using on 0.05. You can ask 0.05 hectare. So if you cross multiply, you realize that your K will be equals to 0.05 multiplied by 45. 0.05 multiplied by 45, that will give us 2.25 kilogram of K. So the amount of K that I'm going to be using is 2.25 kilogram of K. So I have all the theory. Now, this is not the what we are asked to look for. Don't forget, we are looking for the amount of urea, single superphosphate, and morate of potash that will be blended to apply to the maize plot. You get it? So with what I have already calculated in that, that's what I'm going to be using to calculate all this. You get? So follow me carefully. Okay, now I want to calculate the amount of urea that will be blended. Don't forget that I have this here. That is amount of nitrogen that I want to use in 0.05 kilogram 0.05 hectares. So I have all these nitrogen, potassium, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium respectively as this. Now I want to calculate the amount of urea that I'm going to be using. I want you to take note that in this place I only have 46% nitrogen. I'm not having any compound. Therefore, I'm going to use this 46% directly. I'm not having any compound here. I'm only having 46% nitrogen. Therefore, I'm going to be using this 46% directly. So how do I do that? Follow me carefully. Now, 46%, 46 kilogram percent nitrogen will be used in 100 contains 100 kilogram of 100 kilogram of urea. Now, how many kilogram will well, as you know that this is the amount of nitrogen that I calculate that I'm going to be using for 0.05 hectares of the farmland. So now, how many kilogram will be found in 5 kilogram of nitrogen? Let me put that as x. You still follow the same approach, just have to what? Cross multiply now. So now, if you cross multiply, you're going to get the value of x is equals to 5 multiplied by 100 all divided by 46. So the value of x will be x is equals to 10.87 of urea per 500 meter square of the farmland, or you can make use of 0.05 hectares of farmland, but to make it more pronounceable, you can put 500 meter square of farmland. So this is the amount of urea that I'm going to be using for that I need to blend. I need to blend 10.87 kilogram. Let me put kilogram. 10.87 kilogram amount of urea in 500 meter square. Now I want to calculate for another one, which is what SSP now. SSP. If you want to calculate for SSP, don't forget that they gave us that we have the compound that they give us is what? P2O5, 48% P2O5. In this state, they gave us that it's 46% nitrogen. This is just an element, which is nitrogen, but this is a compound. I won't be using this percent. Why? The reason is that I'm not looking for P2O5. This compound contains phosphorus and oxygen. So I'm not looking for P2O5. I'm not in need of oxygen. I'm only in need of what? Phosphorus. Therefore, I'm going to be getting the percentage of phosphorus in this compound only. That takes us to your empirical formula. Your basic chemistry, and that's empirical formula under those topics, that basic chemistry. But in that case, I will give you a unit that you can easily multiply this percentage with and get the percentage of your P2 only. You get it? Just follow me carefully. So I write here to get the percentage of P in P2O5. To get the percentage of P in this compound, what I'm going to do is that percentage of P is equals to, so percentage of P is equals to 0.44 multiplied by percentage of P2O5. That is how I'm going to get the percentage of P. And don't forget that the percentage of P2O5 is 48%. Yeah, the percentage is what? 48. Okay, here is it. The percentage is 48%. So if I want to get the percentage of P now, percentage of P is equals to 0.44 multiplied by what? 48%. In that case, the percentage of P will be equals to will be equals to punch your calculator. That's 21.12 kilogram percentage. So that's the percentage of P in this compound. So it is this percentage that I'm going to be using to compute the amount of SSP, single superphosphate, that I'm going to be using in 500 meters square of the farmland. Okay, now if that means that 21.12 kilogram of P contains 100 kilogram. That is 100 kilogram will be found in 21.12 kilogram of P. And don't forget that I have that. The amount of phosphorus that I need in 0.05 hectares is what? 4 kilograms. So I'm going to be having 4 kilogram of P will contain X kilogram of phosphorus. X kilogram. So if you cross multiply, we're going to be getting X is equals to what? 4 multiplied by 100. 4 multiplied by 100 all over 4 multiplied by 100 all over 21.12. X is equals to X is equals to, punch your calculator, that's 18.93. That means 18.93 SSP will be required kilogram. Let me put kilogram. Will be required in 500 meter square of the farmland. So that's and for single superphosphate. Now let's proceed to muriate of potash, MOP. Now I have muriate of potash, MOP. Now if you look at the question, the question states that we have 60% KCl. Of course, muriate of potash, the compound is what? KCl. So now if you look at this question, they gave me 60% KCl. I'm only concerned with potassium, which is K. How do I get the percentage of potassium out of this 60%? That's what I'm going to be doing right now. To get the percentage of K and KCl in 60%, don't forget it's 60%, 60% KCl, 60% KCl. To get the percentage of K in 60% KCl, just multiply percentage of K is equals to multiply the percentage on the KCl on 60% by 0.52. So we're going to have 0.52 multiplied by the percentage of KCl, and the percentage of KCl is what? 60%. So 0.52 multiplied by 60. Punch your calculator. So percentage of K is equals to 0.52 multiplied by 60%. So 0.5 multiplied by 60%, that is 31.2. Percentage of K is equals to 31.2%. So percentage of K is 31.2%. Now it is this 31.2 that I'm going to be using to compute the amount of mole rate of potash that I'm going to be using. Don't forget, it also follows the same approach. So 31.2 kilogram of potassium contains 100 kilogram. Now, from our calculation, we got that the value of K, the value of potassium that we need in 0.05 hectares is what? 2.25. So that will be 2.25 kilogram of K contain, let me represent that as also X. So now the next thing to do is what? We are going to be cross multiplying. This will multiply this and this will what? Multiply this. So if you cross multiply, you're going to be having the value of X, that is the kilogram of K potassium that is needed. And the kilogram of potassium that is needed will be what? Equals to what? 2.25 multiplied by 100 all over 31.2. So if you punch your calculator, the value of the potassium that you needed is 7.21 kilogram. Let me put kilogram. Don't forget your kilogram. I always forgotten that. MOP per 500 meter square. So this is the percent. This is the kilogram of MOP that we need, molecule of potash that we need. Now the question does not stop there. The question proceeds and said, I've already done this question number 1. I've calculated urea, SSP, and MOP. Now let's proceed to question number 2. If 5 kilogram of urea costs this, and 5 kilogram of SSP costs this, and 5 kilogram of MOP costs 9,000 naira respectively, what is the total amount of NPK fertilizer that is going to be applied? Now I'm going to be writing the amount of urea, SSP, and MOP that amount of urea and SSP and MOP that I will be blending on the maize plot. I'm going to write it out to calculate this. Now I want to calculate for urea first. I want to calculate that of urea first. Don't forget that they say that if 5 kilogram of urea costs 5,000 naira, 5 kilogram of urea is equals to 5,000 naira. 5 kilogram of urea, 5 kilogram of urea, let me use U, is equals to 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira. So, and don't forget that the kilogram of urea that I used on the farm is what? 10.87 kilogram. So 10.87 kilogram of urea, 10.87 kilogram of urea will cost, let me represent that as what? Maybe Y. Let me represent it as Y. Now, what are you going to do now is that you're going to cross multiply like that. This will goes to this and this will goes to this. If you cross multiply, you're going to be getting the amount Y is equals to what? 5,000 multiplied by 10.87, all divided by 5. So 5 equals to what? 5, 4, 3, 50 all over 5. Of course, this will be naira. So if you divide this by 5, you're going to be getting 10,000. And put Y is equals to 10,870 naira. So the amount, this is the amount I'm going to be buying 10.87 kilogram of urea that I'm going to use. This is the amount I'm going to be buying it. I want to calculate for SSP. Don't forget that 5 kilogram of SSP single superphosphate costs what? 7,500 naira. So that is the cost of 5 kilogram of SSP. I'm also going to be equating it 5 kilogram of SSP. 5 kilogram of SSP equals to 7,500 naira. So now, and don't forget that the amount of kilogram of SSP that I'm going to be using is what? Okay, so now 5 kilogram of SSP costs 7,500 naira, and don't forget that this is the kilogram of SSP that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be equating it as X or Y or any letter. So 18, let me put 18.93 kilogram of SSP. I don't want to write SSP. SSP will cost what? Let me put maybe Z. Z will be equals to what? Z equals to 7,500 multiplied by, of course, if you cross multiply, this will multiply this and this will multiply this. So 7,500 multiplied by 18.93 all over 5. Z will be equals to, if you punch your calculator, 7,500 multiplied by 18.53 divided by 5. So the amount is what? 27,795 naira. So this is the amount of SSP that I'm going to be using. Don't forget, put that there. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to calculate the amount of mole rate of potash that I'm going to be using. MOP. I want to calculate the amount of mole rate of potash that I'm going to be using. Don't forget that. And in the question, they told me that 5 kilogram of mole rate of potash cost what? 5 kilogram of mole rate of potash. It costs I think 9,000 naira. 5 kilogram of mole rate of potash costs 9,000 naira. So 5 kilogram of MOP, it costs 9,000 naira from the question. So now, and don't forget that the amount of mole rate of potash that I use is what? 7.21 kilogram. So 7.21 kilogram of what? MOP will cost, let me represent it as what? Maybe ZX. Let me represent it as X. Okay, you can represent it as any letter, but in this case, I want to represent it as X. So now, the next thing to do is to cross multiply to get the value of the X. So after cross multiplying, I got 7.21 times this equals to this. Then I divide, I got this. After dividing this, I got this as the value of MOP that I'm going to be using. Now, that's not the final question. However, in my last video, I didn't complete that question. The next question says that we should what is the total amount of NPK fertilizer applied to the maize plot? Now, the total is the addition of the mole rate of potash, single superphosphate, and urea. When you add the amounts together, that's it was will give me the total amount of the fertilizers that I applied. Total is equals to what's the value that we got in urea? I think that is 10,000 naira. The value that we got in urea, 10,000 naira, 870 naira, plus the amount that we got in SSP, that is 27 naira, 27 800 and no 27 7 not 8 795 naira, plus the amount that we got in what's the MOP now is what? 12,000 naira. 12,978 naira. 978 naira. So the addition of this will give us the total amount. So you can punch your calculator to get the total addition. So the value now is 51,643 naira. When I had everything together, I got 51,643 naira. So that is the solution to the fertilizer calculation. Please, if you like this video, kindly like the video, and if you want to support the growth of the channel, kindly hit the notification and hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel, and also share this video to like-minded like you. Thank you very much. Beloved Academy, appreciate you. I love you, but don't forget, Jesus love you more. Bye.